Automation bias is one of the least discussed and most predictable risks in healthcare AI, and it has nothing to do with whether the model is good. Automation bias is a human tendency to over-rely on automated suggestions, even when those suggestions are wrong, incomplete, or no longer appropriate. And in clinical settings, it shows up when AI outputs subtly override human judgment rather than support it. Hi, I'm Shuaib, medical physicist and CEO at Newton's Tree. In this video, I want to explain why automation bias is a real operational risk in hospitals, and why it emerges even amongst highly trained clinicians, and what health systems need to do to detect and manage it. Let's start with a definition. Automation bias occurs when humans defer to an automated system's recommendation, not because it's demonstrably correct, but because it's presented as authoritative, consistent, or easier than challenging it. Now, this is not a failure of clinical skill, it's a predictable cognitive shortcut. Clinicians operate under time pressure, cognitive load, and competing priorities. When an AI system presents a confident output, the path of least resistance is just to accept it, especially if previous outputs have been consistently correct. Now, that is where the risk begins, because when automation bias sets in, two things start to happen. First, errors are less likely to be detected. If the AI misses something now, the human is less likely to question it. Secondly, human vigilance decays over time. Now, as that trust increases, active checking decreases. The paradox is that the more reliable an AI system appears, the more dangerous its rare failures can become. This is why automation bias is not solved just by having a better model accuracy alone. It's a system design and governance problem. Now, the first line of defense is education and training. Clinicians need to understand that AI outputs are probabilistic, not authoritative. They need explicit training on known failure modes, appropriate skepticism, and know when to override or ignore the system. But as we know, education alone is usually not enough. The second line of defense is workflow design. If AI outputs are embedded in workflows in a way that bypasses human judgment, automation bias is guaranteed. Effective human-in-the-loop design means that the AI supports decisions, not replaces them. Critical steps require explicit human confirmation, overrides are easy, visible, and culturally acceptable, and disagreement with the AI is treated as normal, not exceptional. The goal is not to slow down the clinician, it's to keep them cognitively engaged. And the third and most overlooked line of defense is monitoring for automation bias. Most health systems monitor AI performance, very few monitor human behavior around the AI. We've shown that automation bias can be detected. You can measure rates of agreement between the AI and clinician over time. You can measure the change in override frequency, outcome patterns when AI is followed versus when it is challenged, or shifts in error types after deployment. When agreement rates trend towards 100%, that is not success. It's a warning signal, because no complex clinical system should ever agree with a probabilistic model all of the time. And that is why post-deployment monitoring must include these socio-technical metrics and not just model metrics. Automation bias is not a theoretical risk, it's an operational one. If left unmanaged, it can quietly erode safety, reduce critical thinking, and shift accountability away from humans, without anyone explicitly deciding to do so. So, to summarize, automation bias is inevitable where AI is deployed at scale. The question is not whether it will occur, but whether it's anticipated, detected, and then managed. Health systems that take this seriously invest in training, design workflows that preserve human judgment, and continuously monitor both model behavior and human interaction with the system. At Newton's Tree, we help health systems monitor AI in ways that keep humans meaningfully in the loop, and make risks like automation bias visible rather than hidden. Because safe AI deployment is not just about what the model does, it's about how people respond to it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.